Welcome back. I'm Danielle, Storey of the Eastern Innovation Business Centre, and you're watching and listening to The Innovation Show. It's such a pleasure to have you back again. Today I've got a really special guest. We've got Joel Gresham from Davey Water Products, and Joel is the GM Innovation. Cool
That's
title.
right. It is a very cool title.
You were just telling me before, 2 years in the role?
2 years in the role. There's people in the business that say I've got the best title in the business, so
Yep.
I'm happy to wear that badge.
Yeah. Why the best? What makes it the best?
Well, my day to day is looking where we're going to head to the future.
Yeah.
So I don't get bogged down with all the fires that happen in a business.
Yeah.
Particularly an 80-year-old business. And we can look at new technologies, new customers, new markets, and it's quite exciting. So it's I'd have to agree, it probably is the best title in the business.
I have to say, all of us that are working in the innovation space think we're pretty lucky. So 80 years in business, Davey Water Products. Do you think, when you talk innovation, and you're talking innovation every day, or you're probably talking future focus or moving forward, do you do a lot of looking back? And then secondly, on top of that, has innovation, is it a new concept? I mean, for some people, it's the first time they've heard the concept in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's certainly become a buzzword of recent times, but it's real. And I think businesses need to learn that it's real and put dedicated resource onto it. For Davey, yeah, look, in the past, we've had innovative products. That's how the business started. It probably wasn't called innovation back then, but certainly a lot of our products were groundbreaking and changed the way that people moved water and managed water. But recently, we've kind of got a little bit bogged down.
Okay. How so?
And businesses stagnate. You kind of get complacent. The energy probably isn't there as what it potentially could have been.
Yeah.
Competition makes a big difference.
As in a lot of competition or not a lot of competition? You're a leader, so therefore you...
Yeah, probably both, right? So you can become complacent and start to not so much mistreat customers, but you stop talking to them.
Familiarity breeds contempt. Is that
exactly.
how you...
And then global competition.
Not really. I mean, I know you love your customers. But
no, definitely. Yeah, and much more these days.
Yeah.
But global competition as well, just in terms of all of a sudden, it's not as big an opportunity.
Okay.
Your market share starts to decrease, and all of a sudden you're on the back foot. So that forward thinking about where the future is, what the strategy is, becomes harder and harder to take that time out. And businesses probably don't realise that's happening until it's too late. So thankfully, our direction, our management had a very much a forward-looking position. And wanted to make sure that we not only looked forward, but had a dedicated innovation strategy as well. So
the word on the street, and certainly not the word publicly, officially, is that water's going to become a massive issue, particularly here in Australia over the next sort of 20 years. Is that part of your planning, part of your strategy, acknowledging that we're going to need to learn to manage water so much better than what we have here in Australia?
Definitely. It's a huge resource that is extremely important. It's on par with energy, but it's probably a lot further behind in terms of where the market and where the leaders are.
Because we still take it for granted, don't we? We've still got access to it.
It's
Nobody's been denied it.
It's not costed how it should. It's very cheap.
Yeah.
It falls from the sky.
Yeah.
So you can, the old adage, why am I paying something that should be for free?
Yeah.
But the same can be said for solar energy, for instance.
Yeah,
the sun comes from the sky. But for us, it's very important. You're starting to see around the world lots of water issues starting to cause significant issues to large communities.
So take a country, and we were talking about it before. Joel's just come back from Israel and got some really, really cool insights. Israel have done an amazing job on, what's the stat? Is it a quarter of the rainfall that we have? They have a significant less amount of water in rainfall or in water ability to get water for their land. What are they doing over there? What are they doing over there that's so different? What's enabling innovation?
There's probably two things. So their strategy around water has been quite world leading. Three pillars around that. So they're essentially a desert, right? And they've taken that and made a decision that they weren't going to rely on surface water and rainfall.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't have enough, and so they made the decision to desalinate, which is a big part of their strategy, but also wastewater treatment. So they treat 80% of the wastewater. The next biggest country, I think, Singapore, is in the 20%.
Wow.
It's a massive difference. That wastewater then can go to farming, it can irrigate.
So it's taking wastewater that wouldn't be potable and putting it into applications where you could feed plants, and they're obviously filtering it.
So
doing
treating it, filtering it, and then putting it back out to grow the crops or other industrial processes. Yeah. And that's made a huge difference for the amount of water that they use. And now they're a net exporter, so they sell water to Jordan, their neighbour.
Not bad. Be a desert that sells water.
Exactly. So it's a very green country when you think about how much of a dry place it is.
So in terms of innovation and obviously the things that they're doing, not just in water, you would have, how many companies did you go visit?
We saw 22 companies in 5 days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What are they doing differently in the realm of sprinting, designing new products, thinking forward? What are they doing differently to what you found that we might be doing here, or what you might be doing?
Yeah, it's very much a holistic look at innovation. So if you go talk to the universities or anyone from the military, anyone from business, they all talk the same language. So they're all talking about innovation. They're all talking about rapid prototyping, experiments, getting out there, talking to customers, solving customer needs. And they do it in a way so that people can do that and test their ideas very quickly. So there's lots of funding, there's lots of very early stage funding.
Okay, what does that look like?
There's a couple of different models that they have. They've got an innovation authority over there.
Okay.
The government gives them, I think it's around about $500 million per year. And he's targeted with the task, or the team's targeted with the task to seed a number of early stage startups.
Yep. And isn't there a KPI about
the KPI?
failure?
Yeah, fantastic KPI. He's not allowed to get a return greater than 35%.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool.
he has to lose 65% of his money.
Yeah. And what do you reckon? Do you reckon our government would do something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that'd take them...
Be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Take them a long time to even think about it, but it would be fantastic. Yeah. And that's the kind of initiatives that you need to be able to get those early stage startups happening.
Yep.
Lots of countries do the later stage funding, the venture capitals.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
In that.
But it's the early stuff that matters, and the volume of the early stuff.
Yeah.
I think there was a story we came back. The cab driver has a pitch in his glove box for his business idea.
Wow.
So everyone has a business idea.
Yeah. So everybody gets into the cab, he sits there and pitches his idea to someone until he finds the right person wants to invest in it. Or is this a new model for Uber? Or maybe 1-3 cabs?
Yeah, true.
Maybe we could get some pitches happening in the back of cabs. That'd be a whole lot of fun. So, okay, so obviously Davey, which is a subsidiary of GUD Holdings.
Yep.
And GUD and Davey are well placed to be investing in the things that you're doing. What do you find as an innovation GM? What do you find is the best way to generate ideas within the company? As in getting off site, staying on site, canvassing customers. What are the tools that you use that that are the most effective?
Yeah, we've kind of got, I guess, a two pipeline process. So the top-down innovation, which is very much what my role is focused on.
Yeah.
But also within my team, we look at the bottom-up idea generation. So anyone within the business that has an idea, they can submit it, we can look at it, we can test it to see what the opportunity is. But then probably the harder bit that businesses have is that top-down, the step change, the big stuff that needs to happen.
Yep.
That doesn't start with an idea. It starts with an opportunity. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about identifying those opportunities. Where can the business go? Where are their new customers, new markets? And then the ideas come later. So we have sessions where we would bring in people from the business, from outside, external expertise, and then you give them a challenge of how can we can take advantage of an opportunity, and then that's when you generate as many ideas as you can, and then look at testing those. So. Not starting with the idea is probably an interesting start or an interesting learning for me from the processes that we've learned.
Very, very, very interesting. So, I mean, we hear a lot about large organisations trying to innovate, and it's hard to do because when you're trying to change something from within, you're really threatening your bottom line, you're threatening your profit, you're looking to spend and throw money into projects that might fail. Probably have a fair chance of failure.
Yep.
How do you balance that out? How do you?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be people that don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cost.
Yep.
And if the business is efficient, it should be looking at how to drive costs down and look at productivity and all that kind of stuff. So you've got to have senior management, CEO level management that believe in innovation and within the process, and that put their money where their mouth is and really share that story. We've been lucky enough to have that, which has been fantastic, and the understanding that failure is a part of it, and it's all about those learnings.
65% apparently should be failing.
Yeah.
If you ask the experts. So where to for you from here? I mean, as you're firmly entrenched in innovation, you must be working on some great products with what you're doing. What are you planning this year? What can you talk about any of these cool things that you've been sprinting with?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So 2 years in. First year was just process, building the team. Second year was very much trying to get some runs on the board early. So we've had a couple of products and projects that we've launched to try and prove that what we're doing isn't just hearsay and small talk. Year 3 is about value and really getting momentum and speed. So we're looking to run more projects through our process. We've now got a team of 4 people. So we've just put 2 people, another 2 dedicated to innovation. We're developing new missions to go through our process and executing and scaling some of the old ones. So a couple of the more exciting ones, we're doing a lot of work with dairy farmers in New Zealand, looking at water treatment for cows, drinking and also wash down of equipment, and having some fantastic results. Increased productivity, better animal health, less calf mortality, less chemicals, better veterinary bills. So we're really wanting to position ourselves as a leader in terms of providing better quality water to farmers and animals, and the follow-on effects could be quite beneficial. So.
Much bigger than just supplying pumps, hey?
Exactly, yeah.
And then for you, obviously, you're going to be at Davey lifelong because they love you and you love what you're doing. But
already 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from? What?
So I was a junior product engineer.
Okay.
So started product development and worked on a few different projects and slowly worked up the food chain, I guess.
So that's very cool that you've come up from within, and I can imagine in some companies that'll be possible, particularly companies that have got a strong engineering focus. If someone's having a listen to having us have a chat now and they think, "Gee, you know what, I'd like to be GM of innovation one day."
Yeah.
What are the things, that you wished you'd done? Are you going to learn it at university? Is there something at should they be heading off to university to learn it? Should they be you tell me. How would? Yeah.
I think there are now like entrepreneurial degrees that you can do.
Yeah.
I think from my experience, you don't have to be an engineer or a product guru. It's very much just having that mindset of thinking about your customers and understanding customers and markets. It's easy to interact with a product or a service or solution and be frustrated with it, but not understand or know that you are frustrated. And it's the people that are able to pick that up and say, hey, there's a better way to do this.
Okay.
So that real entrepreneurial sort of spirit of coming up with ideas and then figuring out how to execute.
And then, so what would you say then? That's coming from the idea generation, which you said is a great way to innovate. But coming from the opportunity perspective, I would imagine you as GM Innovation probably has to write some pretty serious business cases and de-risk a lot of things.
Yep.
What are a couple of the things that people can do to? So it's great to be able to interact with the people below and engage and excite and to the side with clients and what have you. What are the qualities that will best serve when you're working with senior management that may not understand and innovate? And you're not in that situation. But
you have to. You kind of need a bit of a multidisciplinary sort of background because you do have to be thinking about the business case and your returns and where's the money going to come from eventually, and the marketing of it, the sales channels, how does it fit with the business?
Yep.
And so you have to be able to work with every part of the organisation, and that can be a challenge for sure.
No,
how do you learn those
everybody
skills?
gets along with everybody in an organisation all the time, don't they? Isn't that corporate land?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I don't know what you can do. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, cool. But isn't that the nature of innovation, is that it's not just a cut and dried answer? It's not, I start this path and I end up here and
I think you just have to be hungry, right? I mean, you have to realise that you never know everything and you have to keep going out there and looking and learning more and more. And I think that's probably the big outtake.
Yeah. Stay curious, stay hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, what a great chat. Thank you so much. If you want to be like Joel, really seriously, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming and telling us a little bit about Davey and about your role. And maybe we'll get you back in a couple of months and you can showcase some of the of the things you've done with the farming community. We can have a real look at going from providing just a solution to providing a whole way of life. And come back and we'll talk a bit more about that life cycle thing. So, all right. Yeah. Terrific. Great to have you here.
Cheers.
So there we are. So we've learnt a little bit about Davey, a whole lot about innovation management and how corporates can innovate, and a little bit about what's happening around the world. So we'll see you again on the next The Innovation Show.